Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is the Q&A little quick vlog. I've been saying about doing this for some time now, and I had a nice lot of questions actually. A lot about my allergies, which I will go into a little bit, but it's such a long-winded story, I would bore you to death. Anyway, thank you all for everyone that wrote a question to me. They went over Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and so I've written everything down. I've put everything together and I've written it in this book. So here goes. Right. Would I consider Botox or tweakments? 100% I would. And if I could, I would be having them right now. Again, because of my allergies, no one will touch me with a barge pole. I've been to so many beauticians. I've even asked if I can be tested to see if I'm allergic to, say, fillers, or I'm not sure about Botox. I do prefer the idea of fillers. If I could have fillers, I would definitely have them, but they won't even test me to see if I'm allergic to them. And with filler, so if you had, say, your lip line filled, that's where I would like to have done, because the lines are getting really deep there. So if I could have my lip line done and it didn't go right and I was sensitive to it or something went wrong, they dissolve the filler with bee venom, I'm told, and I'm allergic to bees, so I wouldn't even be able to do that. So there's the answer. If I could have Botox or fillers, I would definitely be having it. I would love to. Right, what inspired my influencer journey and how old were you? I think I was 52. I'm 60 now. I think I was 52. What inspired me? I've told this story so many times. I read an article about another blogger. I think she had just turned 60. I think it was in Woman and Home. And she was talking about her blogging journey and how much she'd enjoyed it. Now, I was always employed as Dee's carer, so I couldn't go out and get a job. I didn't have any computer skills. I'd never even sent an email before. So I started thinking about maybe having a go at this blogging, and I thought it would help me to learn some computer skills. That's what interested me more than anything. I was very bored during the day. I've always been a worker and I like to be busy, and that's exactly what happened. I got busy, but it didn't interfere with caring for Dee, so it worked out quite well, and that is how it came about. I thought, well, there's not, and still not, a lot of UK over 50 bloggers. There's hundreds of American ones, but not over 50 UK ones. And it took me a long time and a lot of hard work to get anywhere with it. It was very stressful learning how to do it as well, but I stuck at it, and it started to take off, and that was the beginning. And then lockdown came. I think I'd done one film on YouTube for Look Fabulous Forever. Is the first film that I ever did. That was up there, and I'd never done any more filming, didn't know anything about it. And my camera that I use for my photos actually does film as well. And we was in lockdown, and I thought, I'm going to give it a go. And I did, and I loved it. And I wish that I had done YouTube right from the beginning as well. You know, I'm 60 now. You're all going to grow old with me, I hope. And if I'd have started 10 years ago, wow, I would have been in a completely different place. I did well with my blog, but my YouTube is so much better, so much better. I even considered giving up my blog a little while ago, but it did start to affect my income, not blogging, and that is something I need to get into. Writing up regular blog posts, because I do one every, say, 3 weeks, and yeah, I need to get back into that. But you know, I learned, and I'm glad I learned, and I'm very proud of my blog, very proud. I've got to meet some fantastic people. Amanda Holden, I don't think I wasn't vlogging then. I've interviewed quite a lot of celebrities through the blog. Amanda Holden was my favourite by far. I was actually late for the interview and she waited for me. The PRs were fuming. I'll never forget it, but we got on like house on fire. And you know, it's not all about the money, blogging, it's about experiences as well. And I've got to do a lot of experiences as well through that. So yeah. Any of you want to give it a go, I'm always here willing to help, ladies, because that is one thing in blogging that I found, was that there's not a lot of help. You can ask bloggers, you know, questions and whatever, but they're not really interested. But I'm always here, I will help. Right, next question. How long has it taken you to find your fashion style and colours? Now, you all know that I'm a neutrals girl. I would say from the age of, I'd say 50 is when I really started playing with the neutrals and collecting them into my wardrobe. I'll link the neutrals film below as well, because you all seem to enjoy that, and anyone new here might like to watch that. And yeah, it just evolved. I didn't even think about it. That neutral wardrobe just evolved. I gathered that lighter colours suit me. I'd say my best colours for me are any creams or taupes. Green is a good colour for me, all different shades of green, and red is a good colour for me. I'm still out there with the black. A lot of you say, Laurie, you say black doesn't suit you, but it does. I'm sorry, it washes me out. I have to be very careful with black. Yeah, I mean, Mum was a very big influence on my style. My mother was a very stylish lady. She loved to dress up, always at the Freemasons balls with her Frank Usher ball gowns, and oh, she had it all. Even to her last year, she was still making herself well presented all the time. She never ever slipped up. She was such a lady, and obviously that rubs off. Right, you seem happy and content in your body shape. Have you always felt that way? I would say at the moment I'm not happy with my body shape. All of my regular ladies here will know that I've lost over a stone. I know I'm always moaning about being heavy, but I've lost this stone and I don't like it at all. The problem with being in our age group, I'd say from 50s onwards, if we get too thin, everything just, everything is just so much more wrinkly. I literally feel like my face has caved in. You can't win. It's either have a nice slim body and a caved in face, or a bit of a fuller figure and less wrinkles, if that makes sense. And that's how I feel at the moment. I really do feel a little bit gaunt and not nice. I've lost a lot of weight on my arms and they're wrinkly. I don't like it. So I'm looking and hoping to put on a little bit more weight. Tell us about your allergies and how you deal with them. Now that goes back to that last question about, have you always been happy with your figure? Now when I was a teenager, 14 to the age of 18, I was a very big girl. I'd say 14 to 16 in size. Now if you put that on a 5'2", you're wider than any average woman, you know, that would be wearing a size 14 to 16. And I did really abuse my body dieting, and I lost a lot of weight. I went down to 6 stone, so borderline anorexia, I would say. My parents were doing their nut, I remember it well, I hid it very well. And this is where the allergies come in. So when I was 18, I went out for a Chinese meal one night, and by the time I left that restaurant, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't talk, I was terrified. I thought I was going to die. I thought I'd swallowed a bone or something. My boyfriend at the time took me home, and my dad thought I'd swallowed a bone as well. And I remember him sticking a long spoon handle down my throat to see if he could see what it was, and he couldn't see anything. And it still amazes me now that they never took me to the hospital, I will say that. But maybe they just didn't think it was as bad as I felt. I really felt like I couldn't breathe. The next day I woke up and it had subsided a lot, and that was the first allergy in my eyes that I had. And then this continued to happen. Every now and again I'd eat something and it wouldn't be as bad as that first time, but I'd say, oh God, I feel like I can't breathe, I feel like someone's strangling me. And Mum decided then to take me to the doctors. But of course, as soon as I'd got a doctor's appointment, that allergy would have subsided, and they put it down to nerves. They thought it was nerves. You know, I was this borderline anorexic girl, and they thought it was a nervous condition. When I started getting my allergies at 18, which is a lot of years, well, say 20 years ago, so that was 40 years ago, you didn't hear of allergies like that then. Not, you know, once in a blue moon. The doctors did not have a clue. And then New Year's Eve came that same year. I've never forgotten it. I went to have a Chinese meal again, and I was fine. And then we went on to a party, a New Year's Eve party, and I ate some nuts and bits and pieces, and then I started to feel unwell, and I went into the toilet, and excuse what I'm gonna say, it's a bit sickly, but everything that was in my body expelled from my body while I was in that toilet. And in that time that I was in that toilet, my whole face blew up. I looked like Rocky when he'd been beaten up. I couldn't see. I was absolutely terrified. I got home, my boyfriend took me home, my dad took a picture of me. They still didn't take me to the hospital. This is what I've never ever understood it, why they didn't take me to the hospital, because I know on those 2 times I think I was very close to dying, to be fair. I went to bed that night, and I remember my mum checking in on me, and then we took the photo that my dad had taken of me to the doctors, and the doctor went, oh, MSG poisoning, it's monosodium glutamate, she's got an allergy. And I was like, thank God for that, now we know what it is, you know, because they was telling me it was nerves. And so I had to start checking labels for monosodium glutamate. But as time went on, I became allergic to other things. I mean, in those, I'd say 5 years, I'd get an allergy to different things, and it would happen all over again. I was never given an EpiPen, ever. Did they exist then? I don't know. I had allergy tablets, but every now and again I'd get a newfound allergy, and I just had to deal with it. And they said it was because I'd broken my immune system through being so underweight. And that has carried on all the way. I would say, I think my last allergy was when I was about 54, touch wood. I became allergic to aspartame, and my allergies have also through my life presented in different ways. So the second allergy, say, my face blew up, and then my face didn't blow up like that a lot. It was always just in my throat. My throat would swell up, and then that stopped, and I started getting like shaky, having fits. It was just like having a fit, and I knew it wasn't right, and I knew it was an allergy. And that's when I went to the hospital. I started visiting different hospitals about my allergies, and I had so many allergy tests. I think I was going to the hospital for about 6 months having different tests, and we found out so much that I couldn't have. A lot of them are intolerances, and a lot of them will make me anaphylactic. They're toxic to me. And either way, if an intolerance can be just as bad in my eyes, because you feel so ill, as having a full-blown anaphylactic shock. You know, you're not going to die from an intolerance, but it makes you damn uncomfortable for a few days. Yes, so that's it about allergies. I am going to list everything down below what I'm allergic to, and there's a lot, a hell of a lot, ladies. And how do I deal with it? I deal with it by staying away from those foods. I deal with it through, there's not a restaurant I can go and eat in, not one restaurant. And this is why I don't go abroad a lot as well, because it's so difficult for me to eat. And this is another allergy I've got. Onions and garlic. They are two of my most severe allergies. And if I go into a restaurant and I can smell cooking onions or garlic in there, I will have an anaphylactic shock within half an hour, and it makes me really ill. So that's how I deal with it. I don't eat anything. I don't take any chances, never have done, and I stay away from any of those foods that are cooking, and it's not nice. It's a horrible way to live. I would not wish my allergies on anybody. I would rather be a size 22 eating as many pies as possible than have my allergies all day long. And you know, you always say, you look so healthy, Laurie, you know, what is your diet? So many of you have asked me. My diet is not healthy at all. I eat so much butter, you would not believe it. Do you know Anchor butter is the only one butter that I can have now? It's the only one. I can't have any oil. Oh, there's so much, ladies, and it is a pain in the butt. But I will list all my allergies below for you. If you know, there's been a few of you that have said, I want to follow your diet. Trust me, you wouldn't. But I'll list everything below that I'm allergic to. See how you get on. And if you like it, stick with it. But you won't, trust me. Alright, next one. Which lingerie brands do I recommend or use a lot? Now, I know I've got a vlog somewhere about underwear brands, and it's just an actual standalone post about underwear brands. You've always heard me talk about it. The fabulous Fantasie brand. I started working with Fantasie about 6 or 7 years ago, and that is what I wear literally every day. I would say Fantasie, absolutely superb brand. Marks and Spencer's, I think they're a great brand. And now Fantasie are stocked in Marks and Spencer's, so you could get both. The most important thing, ladies, is going and getting measured and fitted properly. It makes such a big difference. you know, you don't have to be uncomfortable about it. You're not I don't think I even take my bra off when I'm being measured in Marx's, and you need to do it every couple of years. I should have had it done recently because I have lost weight, but I seem to be fitting in everything okay. But yeah, so I would say Marx's and Fantasie, and then there's the knickers. Now I've got a pair of my favourite knickers. This is actually the new Fantasie set that I unboxed with you recently. I've not worn it yet, but there you go. But Fantasie, I don't know what it is about their fit. It's perfect for me, and it really gives you those perky boobs. So at the moment I wear their t-shirt bras a lot, which are not so perky, but when you're putting a shirt on or going out for an evening and you want to look a little bit perky, then these are the best bras by far. Yes, so that's the knickers to match them. And then every day, literally, it's the Tesco's boxers. Now these come in a pack of 2. I swear by them. I've bought every other brand of boxer that there is. These are just so comfortable. I don't wear anything else. There's not another brand a patch close on these Tesco's boxers. They come in a pack of 2, like I said, ladies. So if you're ever looking, these are what you need in your life. Seam free, very, very comfortable, and you've got that slight hugging. They're not hug you in knickers, but they do give you. Now, as far as skincare routine and must-haves, I'm always open to trying something new. So, you know, skincare brands now, they're just so much more than they used to be. Everything is evolving all the time. Things are changing. There's new things coming out all the time to try. You know, if it makes that extra difference, then you've got to keep trying these brands. You know, there could be that miracle cream out there that's going to make you 10 years younger if you try it. But yeah, I would say what I have learnt is that I learnt from a very young age with Mum, SPF. SPF is, I would say, the most important thing that you can have in your skincare routine. I use an SPF 30 in through the year, and as soon as it gets, the temperatures start getting a bit higher, then I go on to a 50. I love the Beauty Pie SPF 50. I think it's absolutely amazing because it's very light. Other than that, most creams, you know, any creams, I love the Daily Defense that I'm using at the moment. That's got an SPF 30 in it. Yeah, so anything that's got an SPF 30. Otherwise, I used to always use and swear by Estee Lauder Day Wear. I thought that was a great cream. That used to have SPF in it, but I've not used it for many years. Like I say, being a blogger and now a vlogger, I get skincare sent to me a lot, and I'm always willing to try new. But as I say, SPF, I would say, is very important. Exfoliating is very important. So using a retinol and a light scrub, and what I've learned in the last couple of years is a good vitamin C. So I would say I've got my skincare together, but I'm willing to try new brands all the time. So that's that. If you can hear sniffing, it's Bo just come in the room. Lay down, baby. You're gonna lay down. Do I have my set rules when creating outfits? I don't think I do, you know. I don't think I do. One rule for me is I don't like anything too low cut. I never have done, not even, you know, right back from the age of 15. I have never been that boobs on show type of girl. I just don't like it. So I would say that. Maybe a little bit more cleavage in the summer. But that is one of my rules. I don't like to show off too much boob. What else can I say about creating outfits? I don't have a lot of problems, to be fair, and I think it's all down to having that neutral palette in my wardrobe, which will go with anything that I've got. You know, jeans. They're easy to pair. I just think of an outfit and put it together, and if I don't like it, then I won't wear it and I'll put something else on. It's never normally that difficult. I don't normally get it wrong. I normally think I'm going to put that together today and I know it will look okay. Belts, accessories for me are a big thing. I think accessories make your outfit all day long. Otherwise, you know, especially with neutrals, things can look a bit bland in colour. If you're only wearing say creams and beiges, and then you're not adding any of your tan accessories, browns, taupes, then it can look a little bit boring. So I would say that is one of my rules, is accessories are definitely key. Accessories are definitely key, I think. Right, who are your favourite brands and why? Oh, this could take a long time. Now, you all know really my favourite brands, so they would be Balkan, Damart are a good brand, H&M for cheapness, Marks and Spencer's for variety. I would say they're my basic high street. Yeah, Balkan is a little bit more expensive, so I would say that is one of my special brands. And if I was gonna be buying anything off the high street and it's going to be something special, then it would be Reese. You all know I love Reese. It's expensive, I don't buy it often, maybe one piece a year. It's like my Reese trousers, I bought those years ago. I've still got them, they're still like new. You get what you pay for, but boy, it's so pricey now, ladies, isn't it, Reese? But I do like the brand. I like that it's classic, but it's got that little edge to it. I think their tailoring is absolutely brilliant. I've always wanted a Reese blazer. I need to get one. I've never had one, and I keep saying I'm going to get a Reese blazer, so who knows, this year I might get one. Ralph Lauren is another favourite for casual, right up to going somewhere special. Everything that I've bought from Ralph Lauren I've always worn so much. So yeah, I would say my high-end brands would be Ralph Lauren, Reese and Balkan. For accessories, Chloe all day long for me, and Yves Saint Laurent, I've got some lovely bits at the moment. So yeah, but if I had to make a choice, I would say Chloe, definitely. Other than that, I love the Beau Today brand. As you know, I feature that a lot on here. And Vionic are very good for comfort and style. So I would say accessories wise, they're my favourites. Yeah, and that's it. There's so many high street brands that I really like, you know, New Look, River Island. I like looking in at all of them. And getting back to the underwear thing, actually, ladies, while we're talking about clothing, there's a, you know, if you want something really sexy to wear, I've just come across a brand called Blue Bella, and I'll leave the link down below to this Blue Bella. You know, where it was, I wanted to share it with you. It's not that I'd be parading anything if they sent me anything, but they've got some really beautiful pieces. And you know, our sex life isn't over at our age, and we still like to look sexy, don't we? And that was what I was worried about, was sharing something sexy with you, and you think, you know, you're 60 years old. I don't care. I still want to be sexy and look nice. What things do you wish you could buy in the shops that you can't find now? Well, that is very easy for me, I have to say, because all shoe brands used to stock size 2 upwards when I was younger, and they don't anymore. They only start at size 3. So, you know, I'm a size 2.5 foot up to 3. all my boots are a size 3, but I will be wearing good thick socks with those boots. So yeah, that is what I would like to see more of in the shops. Right, last one. What did I used to do for a living? Now this is quite a long-winded one, so yes, Mum started getting her hair done in this hairdresser's. Bo, come on. Right, Mum started getting her hair done in a local hairdresser's, and they were looking for Saturday girls, and she said to me, that's Bo walking in, by the way. They're looking for Saturday girls. I was 12 years old. Would you like to apply for it? It's a really lovely place, you know, and you might learn something. I hated school, by the way. So I went down there for an interview. I was supposed to be 14, I think, at the time, and I blagged it, even though I was only 12. And I was always up for making a buck with pocket money or whatever else. And so that was my very first job, was at this hairdresser's, and I used to work there 4 till 8 on a Friday after school, and then Saturdays 8 until 4. And I absolutely loved it. And when it came to school leaving, they took me on as an apprentice. And so I did my apprenticeship with them. I went to college, passed everything, and I'd literally just started cutting hair in this salon. Very proud of myself. And the salon owner decided to sell the salon. He actually had a chain of salons, and I used to work at all different ones actually at the beginning, all within the area that I lived. And he decided to sell up. And then one day Mum and Dad said, "Laurie, come here, we've got something to tell you." And I walked downstairs and they said, "We've just bought you the hairdressers." And I was like, oh my God. I was 18 years old. Now there was a staff of 15, and I went into work one day as their friend and then the next day as their boss, and I am not going to tell you how difficult that was. I managed it. Mum came and worked at the salon. She did reception. She did the reception. She had taken redundancy from Ford's, and that is how it all started. And so I did hairdressing at the shop and worked with Mum for a good few years, and we loved it. We absolutely loved it. I remember us having laughs, going to work in the car together. Me and Mum, we were more like best friends than mother and daughter, you know. So yeah, it was good times, but very stressful as well. I had a lot on my shoulders to prove that I could do that. I didn't ask for that salon, they just went out and bought it. I couldn't believe it. It was daunting, but I did it. And then I got married and I had my first child, Lewis, and we still carried on at the shop. Mum would look after Lewis when I was at work, and then when Mum was at work, obviously I'd be at home with Lewis. And we did that for a couple of years, and then I decided to have another child, and they decided to sell up at that point because it was getting a little bit difficult. And so that's what we did. And then I went freelance, and I did freelance hairdressing for quite a few years. And then my husband decided to go into the pub trade, and that was another episode in my life. So for 12 years I run pubs. We used to lease pubs, and I absolutely loved it. And I would still be doing that now. Actually, Dee and I, we did manage a pub for a little while, but let me tell you, it wore me out rotten. It wore me out, and I thought, I'm too old to be doing this now, and that was the end of that. So yeah, but that's the other thing that I did. And then after that, then I went to beauty college. I had a hair salon on my own with beauty rooms and a sunbeds. I did that for a little while, and yeah, and then I met Dee and I became her carer, and I ended up starting blogging, and this is my little thing now, you know. This is my little thing and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's the best thing I've ever done, I think, and I just wished I'd have started years ago. So that's it, ladies. That's the questions answered. So I hope you enjoyed that. You learned a little bit about me there. Any more questions about the allergies, I'm happy to chat about those. You know, just leave me a comment. Like I said, I will leave that list of my allergies down below. It's going to be long, ladies. It will be a long list. And I've been saying that I was going to do it for some time. It's a scary thing having these allergies. It really is. Because I think my last worst allergy was 2 times it happened. I was in the car driving home to London when we lived in London, and I'd had a rice pudding, and Mum had used the half-spoon sugar, which is full of aspartame, and boy was I ill that night, and I didn't have an EpiPen in the car. And the second time was I was using the half spoon, and I'd taken the dogs for a walk, and I felt like I just couldn't get home. I was trembling so bad I could barely stand up. It was awful. But they were my last, that's the last touch wood allergy, and it's quite a while ago now. Touch wood, I don't get any new ones, please. Yeah, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. Give a thumbs up if you did. I hope it wasn't too boring. But yeah, leave a comment down below if you've got anything else to ask. I'm always willing to chat on there, you all know that. But anyway, love to you all. I'll see you in the next one.